Vice News, how Denver decriminalized magic mushrooms.
Douglas grows hallucinogenic mushrooms in a climate-controlled tent at the foot of his bed.
It's like 80 degrees, 82. That's a common temperature for like the fruiting phase.
He makes a few $1,000s a year, selling to a small roster of local clients.
Can you see like in these big tubs, there's these little white dots?
Yeah.
That's like the beginning of like the pinning process. I'd say it takes like 9.
So cool looking. Never seen them.
Yeah.
Never seen them. Looks cool.
I know, this is crazy.
Everyone just appreciate that. We're going to freeze frame. Let's do it quick. For the freeze frame. We're almost the point. You got a point. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good freeze frame.
9 days before they start to grow like really tall and they're about ready to be harvested.
Yeah, he makes a few thousand a year from the chat room, I know. Real. He's the campaign manager. Let's take a look at this guy.
Kevin
Yes on
Matthews
301.
is the campaign manager for Denver's Mushroom Initiative. For the past 6 months, he's devoted himself full-time to the cause.
Hey, man, vote yes on 301. Are you a Denver voter? Awesome, bro. Thank you.
How come you're so invested in this? I mean, do you just happen to really like doing hallucinogenic mushrooms?
Well, I mean, I love mushrooms.
Okay.
I'm actually one of those guys that actually likes the taste.
They are not famed for their
Not famed for
flavor.
their taste. I like
no.
the taste.
Yeah.
I attribute no longer suffering from major depression to one big experience that I had almost a decade ago using mushrooms. And mushrooms gave me a new perspective. They opened my eyes. The fog lifted. The dull gray of my life cleared and opened up in this, crescendo of panoramic color and beauty. And I'm talking this was one use. The benefits lasted weeks and weeks and months afterwards, after one time of using.
Seems like a pretty well put together person. Doesn't seem like some crazy drug addict or something.
Looked like the guy he was talking to wanted some.
Yeah, I know.
He
He's
was like,
thinking,
I could use some of that.
And now Vice News talked to a former city attorney of Denver.
Doug Friednash was Denver's city attorney in 2012, when the state voted to legalize recreational pot.
My first takeaway is that it's a solution looking for a problem. I don't see us having a problem in the city. If the goal is to decriminalize and not make it the highest law enforcement priority, but the lowest, I think it's already there.
What really has Friednash concerned is that the Mushroom Initiative goes even further than early marijuana laws. It doesn't just decriminalize, it actually bans the city from spending money to prosecute psilocybin-related cases.
I think there are going to be some questions about, is this enforceable? And can you actually pass a law that says you can't enforce laws?
Yeah,
And I think that's very different than just saying it's the lowest priority.
Yep, a little bit of an issue. But Measure 301 passed with 50.56% in favor to 49.44% opposition. So it passed in Denver.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see if it actually goes through. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, if it does pass, it'll be great for research opportunities so we can explore its therapeutic benefits.
Yes, it would be great for research.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. That's my first thought. When I thought, I want to move to Denver
Yeah.
to research.
I mean, people swear by microdosing too, and obviously that guy spoke favorably of it.
Mm-hmm. Psychology Today. Can marijuana improve the quality of your relationship? University of Buffalo and the University of Houston asked 183 heterosexual couples to participate in a 30-day diary study. Participants were recruited from Northeast region of the United States and qualified for the study if they were regular cannabis users, defined as using marijuana 2 or more times per week. During the 38-day test period, researchers asked participants to keep track of all the times they are using marijuana, as well as intimacy events via a mobile app. Intimacy events were reported each morning with the following question. At any time yesterday, did you have an interaction or a meaningful conversation with your partner that involved intimacy, love, caring, or support? The researchers then analyzed the data to see whether intimacy events coincided with marijuana use. Here's a summary of what they found. Intimacy events. Participants on average reported experiencing an intimacy event 1 out of every 2 days during the 30-day test period. Intimacy events are more likely to occur after 5 p.m. than before 5 p.m. Women reported significantly more intimacy events than men. Marijuana use. Participants on average reported using marijuana 1 out of every 2 days during the 30-day test period. Men reported significantly more marijuana use than women. Linking intimacy to marijuana use. Episodes. Intimacy events were were significantly more likely to occur within 2 hours of marijuana use episode. This was true if both partners or if just one partner engaged in medical marijuana use. And unlike previous research on alcohol, where both partners had to drink together to reap the relationship benefits, it seems that the same benefit can be achieved with marijuana even if just one partner engages in the activity. Fun times.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. What doesn't marijuana do?
That's going to be the problem with marijuana.
Yeah.
Is it starts getting marketed as a cure-all for everything, which it already is. We're going to run into issues.
Yeah. And of course, this is just correlation. But again, maybe we can do more studies, maybe try to figure out exactly why that might be and look into more factors.
Yep. Science Daily. 1 in 5 people in England harmed by others drinking over the past year. BMJ. Alcohol-related harm to others in England. A cross-sectional analysis of national survey data published in the online journal, BMJ, Open. A survey of 5,000 adults across England looked at the extent, type, and frequency of the harms associated with other people's drinking, who is most likely to be affected, as well as who and what might be driving it. They drew on an extended alcohol toolkit survey HTS carried out between November 2015 and January 2016. The HTS is a nationally representative household survey which includes a new sample of adults every month. The extended survey included 18 additional questions on a wide range of potential harms associated with other people's drinking. Data available for 4,874 respondents showed that 1 in 5, just over 20%, people said that they experienced at least one of the 18 harms as a result of someone else's drinking over the past year. Most commonly reported was being kept awake at night or feeling anxious, uncomfortable at social occasions. 8% and nearly 7%. Around 1 in 20 said they had experienced violence, aggression, physically threatened or hurt, or forced pressured into sex. 1 in 5 respondents who reported having been forced to pressure into something sexual said it was at the hands of a stranger, but the most commonly cited perpetrator was cohabiting partner, 23%, rising to almost 40% when including partners who live somewhere else. While most harms were experienced less than monthly, 75%, around 5% were experienced daily or near daily. Whew. Does that stuff happen with marijuana users?
Yeah. I guess it would have been nice if they had talked about other drugs, but at the same time, I'm sure anecdotally a lot of people would agree with this, that alcohol does seem to increase aggressive behaviors.
It's destructive, yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that too.
I think people kind of know that.
Yeah, they know it, but nobody wants to admit it.
Yeah.
Because everyone likes to drink.
But it was also interesting to what they were talking about. I found that interesting with the cohabiting partner kind of forcing people into things that
makes I don't want to know what goes on behind other people's closed doors.
Drink a little less.
Yeah.
Maybe
smoke a little more.
Maybe do some mushrooms if you're in Colorado.
Science Daily. Coffee. How many cups are too much to drink a day? Investigating the association of long-term coffee consumption and cardiovascular disease, researchers Dr. Ang Zhu, Professor Elena Hypun of the Australian Centre for Precision Health say their research confirms the point at which excess caffeine can cause high blood pressure, a precursor to heart disease. This is the first time an upper limit has been placed on safe coffee consumption and cardiovascular health. In order to maintain a healthy heart and healthy blood pressure, people must limit their coffees to fewer than 6 cups a day. Based on our data, 6 was the tipping point where caffeine started to negatively affect cardiovascular risk.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, we don't drink 6 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, I think we do maybe 3.
About 3 or 4, maybe 4.
Yeah.
But we don't even do that much coffee. We do more creamer, more of the hemp milk.
That's true.
So.
But yeah, I think people also were kind of aware of this, that caffeine is a stimulant, so you don't obviously want too much of a stimulant, increasing your heart rate.
Beats really fast after your drink. Stop drinking the coffee.
Yeah, drink some water.
Yeah, drink some water.
That's the best cure for caffeine, though, luckily.
Yes.
Is just drink a lot of water, flush it out of your system.
Flush it out. BBC, adverts don't show how traumatic cancer is. A group of cancer patients have launched a hard-hitting photographic campaign in response to pink and fluffy adverts by some cancer charities, which they say don't tell the truth about the brutal reality of the disease. True Cancer Bodies was set up by Vicky Sainer after she saw a campaign video from Breast Cancer Now charity, which she says uses insensitive language and images. Breast Cancer Now has since apologized and has removed the video from its social media channels, but Vicky says more work needs to be done to show the reality of breast cancer. People live with breast cancer. And I've got a clip.
On the 28th of November 2018, I was diagnosed with stage 1, grade 3, aggressive invasive ductal carcinoma to my right breast. It's brutal. It strips you of yourself, it strips your family of you, being a mum, being a wife, being a friend. So today I'm sitting here talking to you, probably without hair, looking quite normal. But when my steroids and all the drugs that they give you to suppress your body, to absorb the chemo, when they leave your system, you're in no man's land and you literally don't know where you are from one day to the next. I had no idea of how traumatic it is, and I don't feel the truth is given to the public as to how much it changes your life.
Dang.
Yeah.
Got a follow-up clip.
There were various adverts promoting the idea of being bosom buddies and two being better than one, which for a breast cancer campaign is incredibly insensitive. We wanted to reflect what true cancer bodies look like. The photo shoot that we did, we started with t-shirts on, with our headscarves on, with our wigs on, and as the day progressed we felt brave enough that we wanted to show the reality, and I think that we portrayed that in quite a beautiful way. Interestingly, since launching the campaign, we've had quite a lot of people offended that we are showing our scars, and that offended that we are showing cancer how it is, and they said, I don't want to see that, I don't want to look at that. But it's reality, and 1 in 2 of us are going to get it. If we're more aware of our bodies and we don't live with this idea that it won't happen to us, then the earlier that you are treated, you have a much, much better chance of survival.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that would work better for breast cancer awareness and to encourage women to get checked more frequently. Or
she had a good point about the slogan right away. The two better than what?
Oh,
that's
very insensitive. Yeah. Moving on.
Oh, but well, before though,
yep.
She does bring up a very interesting point though, that no one really does talk about how ugly it is unless you've seen it firsthand yourself and a loved one. But
yeah,
I think that's also good if we start normalizing what bodies really look like. You know, on Instagram, you're always looking at the perfect body, but real bodies go through scars and get damage. That's life.
Yep. Back to Instagram and the augmented reality.
Yeah.
And Snapchat and all those filters and everything. They're not real life. Euronews. Biodegradable bags are not truly biodegradable, a new study says.
The most surprising result of this research was knowing that not one of the bags could completely vanish or completely degrade in all of the environments. And particularly in the soil and the marine environment, some of the bags could still hold a full bag of shopping. So a full bag of shopping that we typically expect to get on a day-to-day basis. I hope that this research can teach people like you and me to have a look at the label and think, is this doing what it says it will do? Is it actually biodegradable? Is it compostable? And it really opens our eyes that some things can be labelled in a way that we just need to take greater care of understanding.
Very interesting.
I thought this study was a little strange, actually.
Okay.
Because, first of all, they kind of set it up for failure because it's been well documented that these that bags don't decompose very rapidly in water. I'm not exactly sure why, but and also these OXO bags specifically, they were designed to decompose in the normal conditions found, like if they were left floating around, so exposed to air, exposed to the elements, the sun. And then she didn't test all the biodegradable bags out there. Well, she did test one plant-based one, and I think that one decomposed within
products,
a few months. But
and then one made from oyster shells.
Yeah. But there are a lot of different biodegradable bags that they could have tested as well to compare those.
Yeah, she only did 5.
Yeah, because the OXO ones, they're kind of like traditional bags, but they have different chemicals in them that are supposed to make them break down, but they're still petroleum based, where other biodegradable bags are made from cellulose and other plant materials, and those are supposed to degrade a lot faster. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then it was interesting too because the OXO bags are rated for about 2 to 3 years, and that's what they studied them for. So I don't know. I thought it was a little misleading, but it's still very interesting.
Very interesting study.
But I think that also highlights that we need to keep doing more research. And if these plastic bags are ending up in the water and they're not really made to decompose in the water.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did talk about microplastics. So that's something that's unknown on all ends, is whether these bags are just becoming microplastics or if they're actually degrading. And that's something that's needed to look into in all fronts and all bags.
That's scary to think about.
Yeah, because we did talk about that.
Thank you so much for watching. For more Healthy Talk Show, please consider subscribing to our podcast over at healthytalkshow.com/subscribe. It's free. Twitter and Instagram at Healthy Talk Show, drop the W. We record the podcast live Mondays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over at healthytalkshow.com/live. Love and light.